Hi, y'all. Kurt Typley here for Church Sound Boot Camp. Let's talk about churches and in particular small churches and how to choose a loudspeaker for a small church. It's a often talked about conversation online, and I just thought I would maybe address the topic a little bit today. There's conversation I remember online a while back where there was a conversation about a person at a church, and they had they were renting space, and it was kind of a deep room, maybe 40 or 50 feet deep, and they're having trouble with the sound being too loud in front and too soft in back. And the kind of the consensus of the folks that are offering advice was, hey, just put those speakers on some stands and stick them to the sides of the stage, and everybody will be fine. Everybody will be okay. So to me, that's the I coined a phrase back in around 1990 called the LAR approach to sound system design. That's the looks about right approach to system design, where you don't do any modeling. You just say, if I put a speaker here, a speaker there, and point them over here, it ought to work out okay. Looks about right. Well, anyway, I took about 10 minutes in the ease modeling program to just kind of toss around some ideas for this project, and I built up a model of the room, and put some speakers on the stands where these folks were. The general consensus was this is where you should do it, and here's what I got. Let me share my screen, and I'll show you what that would turn out to be. So here's a couple speakers over here, one on each side of the stage. I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but either side of the stage there were a couple speakers. And the brighter the color, the louder the sound. So as you can see from this model, this coverage map, folks down in front were getting blasted, and folks in the back were having a hard time hearing. And that was kind of the problem the church was having anyway. And so we talked about it a little bit more and said, what if you just took those same speakers and took them off the stands, maybe suspended them from the ceiling, take them up to 12 feet off the floor. Look how much smoother the coverage is if you just do that. Same location, just moving the speakers up. Now they're geometrically more even to all these seating areas, and it's just going to sound give you a lot more smooth coverage across the space. But we still have this problem. Folks in the back are straining to hear. Okay, so what about if we take a couple of new small speakers and suspend them from the ceiling about halfway back? Look how much that improves the coverage. Now folks in the back can hear, people in front aren't blasted. And literally, it took like 10 minutes to make this model, just to illustrate the advantages of not taking the general consensus of things to do, but instead going with a more seasoned, thought-through approach by using a computer model. There's another church that we were talking with recently online, and they had a similar kind of problem. It's so common. A lot of churches have these days, they're not the standard A-frame church, but maybe they're renting office space someplace. So they have a low ceiling height, maybe a 9-foot, 10-foot drop ceiling, and that's what they have to deal with. And somehow they got to get sound coverage to all the listeners out in those seating areas. What are they going to do? Here's kind of a standard approach. Here's a couple of loudspeakers flanking the stage. In this case, aimed wrong. They're aiming towards the back of the room. If I go to a side view here, you can see they're up high, but they're aiming straight to the back of the room. So you're going to get major reflections off here. You really want to aim them back here towards the most distant listener. So the speaker really should aim more down like this to get more even coverage. But if we come back here and look at this, you can see again the green here is the coverage map, or I'm sorry, the seating area. Let me go to the coverage map view. So here, this is at 400 hertz. So you can see pretty hot here on the stage and a lot of energy on the stage. Let me take it up to how about 4,000 hertz. And let me go over here. Okay, so now you can see really hot for listeners in this area. We got some problems with listeners here in the middle. And if I go down to, let's say, 2,000 hertz, here's the change in coverage there. Again, now it's softer here. Of course, these level changes we can deal with a little bit with just equalization on the loudspeakers to smooth out things. But still, it's going to be hot for listeners seated here. And back here, they're starting to strain to hear a little bit. Each ISO line, by the way, I should have described this to begin with. Again, the brighter the color, the louder it sounds, the louder the sound is. But each ISO line represents a 1 dB in change. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dB of change from front to back in this particular case. Anyway, I just thought that maybe that would be interesting to look at. The issue is going to be where do we put the speakers and where do we aim them? What speakers can we choose? In this particular setting, if I look at the overhead view, I got a speaker here, but now I'm going to have a lack of coverage, kind of a hole in the middle here. And so what do I do about listeners in here? Really, I'd want to put a speaker in here somewhere, but now I'm with a low ceiling. I'm going to be really close to a person's microphone if they're standing out here on the front edge of that stage, trying to talk or leading worship and that kind of thing. So anyway, let me go back to me. I should really consider cleaning up my office, don't you think? I think it would look a lot better. Anyway, just a quick example of things that you could do with choosing loudspeakers for a small church. It's so common to see these kind of rooms these days, and frankly, it's so easy, so simple to come up with a solution. A lot of churches don't want to face the facts that where they need to put speakers and that kind of thing. But anyway, it's worth considering. So I hope this is helpful. Would love to see you online. Go to churchsoundbootcamp.com. And you can see any of our upcoming classes. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, the comments in this section, what we talked about today, if you go to our website, here's churchsoundcheck.com. This is where I have a lot of my articles, that kind of thing. So churchsoundcheck.com. And you go to my blog or my articles, Kurt's articles here. You scroll down to choosing loudspeakers for the small church. You'll find these comments there. It might be easier to just read this article, and you'll have these graphics as well in there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Kurt Typley for Church Sound Boot Camp. Talk to you soon. Bless y'all. Bye-bye.